Your host Christian Trinity, featuring Christian Prince, an educational Christian video.
Jovain,
Yeah, can you hear me?
I hear you. Go ahead.
I just had a question. Were you born Christian?
There's nobody is born Christians. We as a Christians, we have to be born again, as the Bible said. If you mean I'm born of a Christian family, yes.
Oh, okay, so you're from a Christian family.
Yeah.
Okay, are you from somewhere in the Middle East?
Is that like an interview about like a newspaper?
I'm trying to understand where you come from, what your
Well, if you
background is
sit a
and
little
why you
bit, you will notice that I speak Arabic. Arabic is my first language, so I am an Arab from the Middle East.
Okay. So the the way you speak, it's just strange to me because if you're coming from a Christian background and you're Arab, at least you have an Arabic dialect. Why do you speak about Islam in such a ugly way? I mean, Muslims don't speak about Jesus in an ugly way. They don't speak about Christianity in an ugly way. I just wonder why that is. Did somebody do something? Did they attack you? Did somebody harm your family? Is that where this is coming from?
I like what you just said now. Guys, did you see what he said? He said, why you speak about Islam in an ugly way? Is that because somebody harmed you, did something to your family? What about you ask yourself, you recite the Fatiha 5 times a day, saying to Allah, please Allah, don't make us like the cursed Jews or the lost Christians. So why you do that? Is that because you had somebody harm your family? Or somebody call your names? Or somebody insulted you? You Muslims call us kuffar. You called for jihad against us. You kill us. You take our churches. And you call us all kind of names. Pigs, monkeys, najis, kuffar. And then why? Is that because somebody maybe raped your mama? Maybe because somebody took your wife? Maybe somebody took your daughter? I mean, do you see how awkward your logic? Say that yourself. We don't find anywhere in the Bible anyone mentioning your name. It is you who's attacking us. It's you who's insulting us. So if you are questioning why I'm speaking Islam about Islam in ugly way, because Islam is ugly. But why you speak about
Yeah, but I
Christianity?
mean,
So why your prophet speak about Christianity in ugly way? Tell me.
I would say that's actually not factual in the sense that, there wasn't a Quran for, the Bible or Jesus to speak negatively about, or a Muslim nation or an Islamic nation, people who are followers of the Quran, because it wasn't there at that time. But it does talk about, in the Bible, it does talk about, those who are paganistic in a very derogatory way, but that's actually not really relevant or the point.
But you did
I
not
think the
answer
real
me.
point is
Why you call the
what.
Christians? Why you call the Christians? We are the worst of the creatures, as an example.
No, but I mean, it says in the Quran, it says that some of them are very good people, and it says
No,
that some of them are not.
no. You see,
Yeah,
The Quran speak about good people if those people they agree with Muhammad. The one who don't agree with Muhammad is kal an'am, like an animal. Is that correct? Bal adal.
but in
They are like animals and even more worse.
but it does say in Surah Al-Ma'idah, ayah number 82, it says, "You'll surely find the most bitter towards the believers to be the Jews and polytheists, and the most gracious to be those who call themselves Christians." So we
My
actually
friend,
aren't calling them
your
un.
prophet is talking about specific people like Waraq ibn Nawfal, and he is his real father. Waraq ibn Nawfal, he was a fake Christian, heretic, and he had nothing to do with Christianity. So the monks Muhammad is talking about is those monks who they are not Christians, like Waraqah. So don't give me a speech. Your prophet called the Christians, the Jews, the non-Muslims are the same as animals. Is that true?
No, no, but I'm saying this verse in particular, Surah number 5, verse number 82.
Okay,
It says that they,
I want you to
Christians,
tell me, do you accept the chapter number 5?
yeah,
All right.
582.
Okay, so chapter number 5, does it speak about Christianity good or bad?
Yeah, in a good way. It says that they're most gracious towards those,
All
they're
right.
the most gracious toward them.
Okay. In chapter 5, can you read for me chapter 5, verse number 14?
14?
Uh-huh.
All right, number 14, let me pull it up. Okay, 1 second. 5:14.
I have it in the screen. You can read it. I'm showing it to you.
Oh, oh, I see. Okay, I have it here also. Okay, so it says, and from those who say we are Christians, we took their covenant, but they neglected a portion of what they had been commanded to uphold. So we let hostility and enmity arise between them until the day of judgment, and soon Allah will inform them of all they have done. So this is just talking about the reality between the Christians, the relationship that they have between and amongst each other, that they neglected what God had sent to them. So between them, there's animosity and hostility and enmity and so forth. But that doesn't say anything.
Is it okay
that
if
the
I call you
Muslims.
is it okay if I call you a liar, or you will be insulted?
That's what I just read.
No, because you just said he's talking about reality. No, it says Allah, he planted enmity between them. Not he's talking about the enmity between the Christians. Do you know how to read? Or you don't? You're
Yeah, it says
you're like your prophet. No,
no.
it says, so we planted. He's not talking about reality. He's talking about what he planted. The reality is that Allah is Satan, because the one who planted hatred. What if I say to you now, those who call themselves Muslims, I am a Christian prince, I'm going to plant enmity and hatred between one to each other. What you be honest with me, how you describe my plan against Muslims to plant hatred and enmity against you and your brother in Islam? What do you think? Be honest.
Yeah. So the translation that you have is different than the one that I have here. I'm
What do
using
you have? What do you have? What
this
the
is.
translation you have? Give me the name.
I think this is Mustafa, Dr. Mustafa
Mustafa
Khattab.
Khattab. This is a big fat fraud. Mustafa Khattab. You see,
Okay.
this is other issue about Islam. Islam is not a religion. Islam is a translation, because you do not know Arabic. So any fraud, he can lie to you and fool you. However, I am going here to read Mustafa Khattab translation. So here it says, so we let hostility and enmity rise between them. That's false. It says here in Arabic, فأغرينا بينهم العداوة والبغضاء إلى يوم القيامة. أغرى, it's mean we seduced. We seduced. The word even seduce is not even we planted. Seduced. It is satanic word. فأغرينا. You can take the
Okay.
same
So
word. You can take the same word أغرى or أغرينا and put it in Google translation. In fact, I can translate. Here we go. You know, let me highlight it.
comes from the word gharawa, right?
So we tempted them. This is a translation of Google. But the real meaning, we seduced them to do enmity.
So we were tempted.
So
we
Allah,
were tempted.
like,
so Allah, He seduced the Christians to be enemy to each other until the day of judgment. And let me ask you now, if I make Muslims enemy to each other until the day of judgment, did I make Muslims better a human being or worse?
if you made us enemies to one another,
Yeah.
then you would be, putting dissension between us.
Okay.
Yeah, that wouldn't be
So
good.
does that make me doing good or bad?
Yeah. So then, what this is saying?
No,
and
is it bad or good? Is it bad?
No,
If I
I'm
planted
saying I
enemy,
agree with you.
huh?
Yeah, no, I just want to clarify because I agree with you that the translation that I have here is not saying the same thing as what you're saying. And gharawa definitely does translate to incite. I'm looking in the Hansver dictionary. So it does say to instigate, to abet, to urge, to impel. So what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is actually saying, instead of saying, so we let hostility and enmity, well, we put hostility and enmity between them to arise between them until the day of judgment. Well,
Why?
what he's just saying there, yeah, he's not. But this is different than what I was arguing. I was just arguing. This is not saying Christians are monkeys and all this other stuff. They're not. I was asking the question from the beginning is why you speak ugly about Muslims, because
I'm not speaking ugly about
right?
Muslims. Muslims are ugly anyway.
To be continued.